Do you like television? Do you find yourself missing important dates because you stayed up all night watching The Office? Does Family Guy start playing when you didn't even touch the remote?
Okay, they're home. Starting a Family Guy? Nah.
Ooh, Family Guy. How did they know?
Hello, my name is Dr. White, and I'm here to tell you about how television viewing habits affect social interaction. I conducted a study on college students at UB to determine how socially active they are compared to how much television they watch.
Do you want to watch Netflix or Hulu?
Definitely Netflix. They've got the funniest comedy specials. Here's what I found. My study focuses on if television continues to affect us at an older age, because it has been proven through many studies that television can affect certain behaviors in children. I surveyed 10 students here at UB, and every single one of them answered that they think television affected their social behavior as a child, but only 7 of them answered that they think it still affects them now. My theory is that people think that since our brains are more developed, we can't be affected by it anymore. But is this the case? Are we immune to conditioning just because we're more mentally mature? I think not. 4 people answered that they watch between 0 and 5 hours of television each week, and 3 out of 4 of those people answered that they would prefer to go out rather than stay in.
Whoa, that must be a coincidence.
Well, get this. 2 people answered that they watch between 10 and 15 hours of television each week, and both of those people answered that they would prefer to stay in rather than go out.
No way. There must be like a correlation between how much time you spend outside and how much TV you watch.
That's what I'm trying to say. The other 4 people answered that they watch TV between 5 and 10 hours each week, and they had mixed answers for going out and staying in.
That makes sense because they're the middle ground.
Thanks for the input, TV lover number 1. But please, let the professional do the talking. My name is Dr. White, after all. The participants were also asked if they would consider themselves introverts or extroverts. Half of the respondents answered introverts, and the other half responded extroverts. Fortunately, there was no correlation found between their answers and how many hours of TV they watch, so this isn't really helping my thesis. In fact, you could say that watching more TV just proves that you stay in more and doesn't really have anything to do with how social you actually are. Well, at least according to these variables.
So your study proved nothing? What a waste of time.
Well, my next question asked how easy it is to hold conversations with people you just met. And surprisingly, 8 people said they found it easy to hold conversations with people they just met.
Why is that surprising?
No reason. Two of those people responded that they find holding conversations with people hard. One of those people replied that they watch TV between 5 and 10 hours, while the other one replied that they watch TV between 10 and 15 hours. Keep in mind that only 2 people replied that they watch TV between 10 and 15 hours a week, and one of those people said that they think it's hard to hold conversations with people they just met. And 4 people replied that they watch TV between 0 and 5 hours a week, and none of those people said it's hard to hold conversations with people they just met.
Well, that's something.
It is something. Another question I had was how many hours a week they spend hanging out with friends. But there were extremely mixed results, and that variable doesn't really prove anything in hindsight. It could be the same friend every time. Are they even leaving their house to do this? Are they even interacting with each other?
Probably not. Kids these days don't know when to get off their dang phones.
Another question I asked was if people found themselves imitating characters from television programs they have seen. 8 people replied with yes, and the only 2 that didn't were from the group of 4 people that said they only watch between 0 and 5 hours of television each week.
Hey, that's pretty cool.
Alright, listen, you need to stop interjecting. This is my show. I'm Dr. White. This isn't Bill Nye. This isn't Barney. This isn't a participatory event where the side characters jump in and say lines. You had one line in the original script. Your character didn't even have a name. You were TV lover number 1.
Wait, didn't you say you're Dr. White
Yeah?
and you're a guy?
Yeah, what are you getting at?
So, I guess I could call you Mr. White.
What are you talking about? Say my name. Now here's where it gets interesting. I set up the variable of sex to establish non-spuriousness, so as to test that sex wasn't affecting any of these answers. Half of my respondents were male, and the other half were female. So when I asked if people often use television as a talking point during a social situation, it surprised me to find that 3 out of the 5 men I interviewed responded that they do, while only 1 out of the 5 women I asked say they do. So it could be argued that men just like to talk about television they have seen more than women. But obviously, more evidence would be needed to prove this to be true. So what did we learn today?
That The Office is the single greatest television show of all time?
Oh, no. We learned that adults don't seem to be as immune to watching television as they think. They need to be cautious because watching too much television can still alter how they behave socially, despite them knowing more about the world.
You're the best doctor, Dr. White.
That's Mr. White to you. Say my name.
They combine and change into compounds.
Are you watching Breaking Bad without me?
It's not what it looks like!
It is.
Hey, isn't that your teacher?
Oh, yeah,
What am I
it
to
is.
do?